I would not want to keep any of my enemies in this type of conditions these dogs were kept.
31 years ago this month, it was the talk of the town.
They're pitiful. They need a home. They need love.
On August 3rd, 1992, nearly 200 dogs and cats were seized from a woman's home in Hanover County after deputies received tips that the animals were being kept in deplorable conditions. A judge ultimately found the owner guilty of more than a dozen counts of animal cruelty.
Because of their health, Hanover County officials were forced to put at least 10 animals to sleep.
And the pets that weren't euthanized were put up for adoption.
I remember when my mom saw that story, she thought, oh, I'm gonna go get a dog. You know, she always wanted a dog and she always wanted us to have a dog.
Tricia Lewis was just a kid living in Chesterfield County back then. She had not thought about any of this in years until recently.
I wish I did have pictures of that daggone dog.
Her mom, on the other hand,
She was a big animal lover.
is always on her mind.
She was a wonderful person. My mom worked 2 jobs a lot of the time, and so she was really busy trying to take care of me and my sister.
Even if that meant splitting up the family. In 1996, after the family moved from Chesterfield to Richmond, Robin Hopkins and her husband sent Tricia to live in North Carolina, where they thought she would receive a better education.
They decided to let me go stay with my aunt and uncle here in North Carolina. And so my plan always was to go and finish out school here, but then come back to Virginia.
But Tricia ended up marrying her high school sweetheart, building a life and raising a family outside of Raleigh. Despite the distance, she and her mom remained close.
And she came to visit me a lot, and I came to visit her as well.
And they wrote each other letters.
Then she says, P.S., remember always, I love you forever and ever.
But the separation did lead to some second guessing.
And I always thought to myself, like, what if something happens? You know, would I regret not being there? You know, and something tragically did happen.
Robin died several years ago, and while Tricia has many fond memories of her mother, those can fade with time.
Literally, this is all I have of her.
In terms of something tangible, she only has a handful of mementos and photographs.
I don't have many of my mom, just because back in that day, you know, the parents took all the pictures, and I didn't really have a lot.
Tricia's 3 children have even less.
They would ask me, well, do you have any videos of your mom? You know, do you have videos when you were a kid? I'm like, no, we didn't have that back then. You know, not everyone had a huge video camera, you know, back in the day.
Unless you worked at a television station. One night about 2 months ago, while she was sleeping, Tricia remembered something she had long since forgotten about.
I had a dream that I saw my mom on a news station. So I called my dad and I said, wasn't mom on TV adopting a dog once? And he was like, yeah, I think she was. And I said, well, I'm gonna reach out to the news station and see if they have that video. And my husband immediately was just like, they're not gonna have that video, it's too old.
Early the next morning, on a wing and a prayer, Tricia sent an email to our newsroom.
I knew deep down that it was a long shot.
The CBS 6 video vault contains hundreds of old tapes and film reels. After days of looking, 2 potential tapes were identified and sent off to be digitally transferred. One of them contained a story from January 13th, 1993, about the Hanover adoption event. During the closing moments of that report, our crew spoke to a woman. She was not identified by name. We showed that clip to Tricia.
These animals will now be properly cared for. Most of the new owners were aware of their past mistreatment.
So we're gonna go take her straight home, give her a bath, make her feel part of the family. Anyway, Josh, she's gorgeous, isn't she?
In Hanover County, I'm Jay Ariano, WTVR News Channel 6.
Oh my goodness. That was her. Wow. Oh my goodness, just to hear her voice. Oh my gosh.
A mother and daughter reunited for the first time in more than 2 decades.
Words can't explain how excited I am right now just to see her and hear her talk. That was wonderful. Thank you so much. Wow.
An emotional moment for Tricia because she never got the chance to say goodbye to her mom.
She just kept reaching out for help.
On July 25th, 2001, just about 1 week after a family beach vacation, Robin took her own life.
She went into my grandma's room and got her gun underneath her pillow. And she walked out to the front door.
She was only 42 years old.
She struggled with mental illness for a few years. She struggled with migraines a lot. It was debilitating to her.
Tricia missed a call from her mom the night before her death.
So she called and left a message, and her message stated she was sorry for what she was about to do, but that she could not no longer go on because her life felt like she was so alone and she had nobody, and she felt like she was a burden on everyone. That she loved me and my children, and that for me to never forget her, that she'd always be watching over me.
Tricia desperately tried to call back, but to no avail.
It just kept giving me busy signals. Apparently they were having a bad storm. It had knocked out the phone lines. I couldn't get through.
She's always wondered, what if she had?
Who knows what I could have said or what I could have done in that moment to maybe change her mind.
But the loss of her mom did change the course of Tricia's life.
I never even thought about going into healthcare before that. Never.
The tragedy inspired her to focus on her family and helping others.
You never know what someone is struggling with. And now that I'm in the medical field, I see that all the time.
She now works with doctors at Duke, treating people with chronic pain, including migraines.
I wish, my mom would have been around to see me doing what I'm doing now.
But now, getting a chance to see her mother during the good times, that's something Tricia can't wait to share with others, especially her kids.
Now to be able to show this to them, they're going to love it. They're going to be able to see their grandma. When I see pictures, I don't hear her voice, and watching the video, I see her alive and speaking. And that's almost like it was yesterday. Just to see her breathing and happy and living her life, it's worth everything.